All right, Carver High, a lot of games to bet on tonight in baseball.
There certainly are, Scotty. Why don't we start in Baltimore at Camden Yards? We talked about this a little earlier in the Lions share. I'm looking for a lot of taters here tonight. Jamison Taillon for the Cubs. The Dean Kremer on the hill for the Orioles, who are minus 185, plus 150 for the Cubbies, and a flat 9.
I got to be honest with you. I think Taillon can beat him tonight. And he's pitched really well. He's got a low ERA. Nobody and their brother's betting on him at all, like giving him any chance whatsoever against Coffey and Kremer. He's not that good. I mean, he's 500 with a 3.9. Bottom line is Taillon's got the innings, the strikeouts. He doesn't walk anybody. I think they got a shot. Now, I realize their record. I realize they don't win. I realize what the Orioles do. But straight up, at that price, with that guy pitching the way he's pitched for them of late, I'm going to take a shot with him.
There you go. The Guardians and the Tigers again in Detroit tonight. Hopefully more runs than the one that we got last night. Ben Lively and Kenta Maeda, I think, are going to help us with that problem. Minus 135 for Cleveland, plus $1.15 for Detroit, and an 8.5.
I'm going to run line it at plus $1.15 with the Guardians and Lively. He's been great for them. He wins. He's 8-4. He allows 3 runs a game. Great whip. Tons of innings. Tons of strikeouts. They're not getting blanked 1-0 tonight.
No, they are not. Both Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper officially back in the lineup for the Phillies tonight in Philadelphia, with the Dodgers coming into town. Bobby Miller and Zach Wheeler tonight. Minus 155 for the Phillies, plus $1.30 for the Dodgers, and a 9.5 big total.
I got to be honest with you. The way they hit Wheeler, these guys like Freeman, and we talked about it, and, who else has been on fire? Miller, every guy on that Dodger team.
Yeah.
Who's been hitting all the home runs lately? Am I wrong?
Look, I mean, Hernandez has been hot. Ohtani seems to hit 2 or 3 a week. They just have tons of guys who I can't remember us getting the Dodgers at this price all year. Plus 130? Right. That has to be the biggest dogs that they've been all year. I would have to check, but that's unheard of for them this season.
Yeah. I mean, I forgot about Will Smith. He's hit so many home runs lately. Fire. He's another guy that I wouldn't be surprised tees off tonight. I'll take a shot with the Dodgers at that price to upset Wheeler in the bank.
Yankees are in Tampa at the Trop, a place that they never do quite well, and Carlos Rodon has been hammered recently every time he's gone out. But the Yankees are minus 125 with Rodon against the Rays, who are plus 105. 7.5 is the total.
Yeah, I've seen it at $1.20. I don't think that's too juicy for me. I like the Yankees to win tonight in Tampa.
Rockies and the Reds at Great American again. Our pal Cal Quantrill for Colorado. Nick Lodolo for the Reds, who are minus 200. Look out. Plus 165 for the Rockies at an 8.5.
Lodolo's been great. Lay the 1.5 at even money. You're good to go. And, look, everyone and their brother's betting the over in this game. I'm betting the under.
Oakland into Fenway against the Red Sox. Joey Estes tonight for them. Brian Bello goes for the Sox. Minus 2 Bills. Plus 165 for the A's and a big 10 for the total.
Yeah, I think, I'm not paying that price for the Red Sox and Bayo, but I'd be willing to bet the run line with Boston and Bayo, and I still think over that 10.5. If it's still at 10.5, I'm over that too.
Jake Irvin goes for the Nationals tonight at Citi Field, Scotty. Last time out, he threw 8 innings of shutout ball against the Mets in D.C. He'll try to continue that streak. Jose Quintana goes for the Mets, who are minus 135, plus 115 for the Nats, and a flat 8.
I mean, Irvin had him eaten out of his palms last week, so I'll take that again and $1.15. If they can't hit him then, why would they be able to hit him now? So give me the Nats.
Houston, Scotty. The Marlins open up a series with the Astros tonight. Trevor Rogers and Ronel Blanco are your starters. Minus 250. Heavy lumber for the Stros. Plus 2 Bills for the Fish and an 8.5.
Yeah, this is Blanco. This is the Astros. This is run line. This is over. Rogers is the Black Cloud Diner. I mean, the guy's 1-9. He never wins, and they stink to begin with. And I liked your idea yesterday of the Yankees going to get Chisholm. I'd love to see that deal happen for them. They got glaring weaknesses in that infield. That's pretty obvious. But I'm all over Houston here tonight. They're still 2 back of Seattle, and I still think they're going to win that division.
The Twins and the White Sox again in Chicago tonight, where you'll have Bailey Ober and Eric Fetty. Minus 160 for the Twinkies, plus 135 for the Sox. 7.5. Do be careful here, Scotty. I see tons of rain and weather for this game tonight. Maybe not start on time. Maybe even it gets bagged altogether.
Fetty's not that bad. If they get this game in, I'll take another dog here with Fetty and the White Sox at plus 130 on the south side of Chicago. He's been Crockett and Fetty have been their only guiding light, right?
Yeah, that's been pretty much it for them, especially Crockett. Fetty's been just as good. Pirates are in Milwaukee against the Brewers. Colin Rea tonight. Josh Fleming goes for the Buccos. Minus 160 for Milwaukee, plus 135 for the Pirates, and an 8.5.
I mean, this is Milwaukee run line at plus 122. When they got their guy Rea, he's 8-2 with a 3.3. The guy's been brilliant. He's working on 100 innings already. He does walk a lot of guys, though. We'll see if the Pirates can do anything with the bats if they get guys on base. I mean, that's their problem. I saw Friday, their 16-hit game. I mean, if you look at their last 5 or 6 games, I'll bet they haven't had 16 hits in all of them combined that they had in the one game on Friday.
I'll tell you who's been a sneaky tater guy lately, too. He's been starting to hit. Big Rowdy has actually been hitting some homers lately. And when they're up against a righty, like they are tonight against Rea, maybe a chance to sneak Rowdy in here once in a while for the tater time, because he actually has gotten hot swinging the bat.
And so is Reynolds.
Reynolds, he's been good all year. The Pirates got some guys that can hit, and I saw this article today, one of the Pittsburgh guys wrote, that I guess Cherington wants to add. He'd like to add some more offense to the team, Sky, to go along with that great pitching, and apparently Nutting just they're not giving him any money to use. I feel bad for Cherington. I think he's probably a pretty good general manager, and Nutting just won't give him $1 to go and get some more guys. It's upsetting.
Of course it is, but they're 4 games back of the last wild card. I'm not sure what spending a bunch of money is going to do to get who. Well, first of all, he's not going to spend any money. Second of all, how much would he have to spend to get someone really good?
Right.
He won't do. So to get someone average that can hit a little bit just isn't worth it to me. I think they're still a year or 2 away with their great young arms. The problem I have is guys like Cabrian Hayes, Gold Glove third baseman. But, I mean, my daughter hits better. I mean, he can't hit at all. It's embarrassing. You talk about that team before. You said Reynolds has hit well all year. He's the only guy. He's the only guy that hits. Cruise Missile hits one every 5 days, 6 days. He'll hit a home run. But the rest of the time he strikes out. You know what I mean? No one on that team is. Michael Turner's not. Their catchers stink. Their Rowdy started hitting a little bit. Kutch has been okay for his age and the numbers that he gives them. It's okay, but that would be the type of guy that they would get. A guy that hits, 235 with 48, 50 RBIs. That's the only thing they can afford, and they won't even do that.
They won't even do that. You're right. Late night, let's go out to Anaheim. Rangers and the Angels again. Max Scherzer gets the ball tonight. Contreras goes for Anaheim. Minus 190 Texas, plus 155 Angels, and an 8.5. Again,
Texas is winning all of a sudden. Swept the Rays. I told you they had to win last night. They put up 9 runs. They're going to do it again tonight and cover on the run line for Mad Max against the crappy Angels. I think this is easy money again.
Really good pitching matchup in Arizona out in the desert. Of course, with Sale going back a night, that means he matches up with Zach Gallen of Milk. Minus 125 for the Braves, plus 105 for the Snakes, and a 7.5.
I bet it this morning. Can you believe I got that guy Sale at minus $1.15 this morning?
Wow.
Now it's $1.25. I still don't think it's that expensive. I know people think, either way, if you bet Arizona at plus $1.05 with Gallon of Milk, you got a shot. But the way I see it is right now, this guy, Chris Sale, is very dominant, and he's pitching better than Zach Gallen has this year. Gallen was better last year, Mike, and I think you would agree with that. And then Sale's just been absolutely dominant and unbelievable. So every time he goes out, he gets better. So, it was either him or Skeens for me in the All-Star game. But if he's pitching tonight and Sunday, he's not going to pitch, then Skeens probably will. Give me Sale. I bet him this morning at minus $1.15. I don't have a problem telling people to bet him at minus $1.25.
Mariners are at Petco the next couple days where they get some of that soft serve ice cream, which is always good. Logan, what's eating Gilbert Grape for the Mariners tonight? Adam Missouri for the Padres. Mariners minus 150. Padres plus 125 and a 7.5.
Yeah, I can't bet against Gilbert Grape right now. To me, he's in the conversation. He's in that realm of Cy Young that they're talking about in the AL. He's 5-5. That's not indicative of how good he's been, right? I think more along the lines of look at his ERA. He's under 3 and everything else. His whip is under 1. His innings, phenomenal. His strikeouts, phenomenal. The guy's already got a $1.08 Ks. So I'm not betting against him tonight, not with Missouri. But these teams are literally in concert with one another, Mike, record-wise. They're almost the same identical teams.
They certainly are. Finally, last game, the Blue Jays are in San Francisco against the Giants tonight. Kikuchi on the mound for Toronto. And Blake Snell, who's had a lost year, is going to try to come back here. This is his second time returning from the IL. Minus 115 for the Giants, minus 105 for Kikuchi and the Jays, and a 7.5.
I like the over 7.5 runs here because, frankly, Kikuchi and Snell they've been so awful this year. Both of them give up tons of runs. Give me the over in that game. And I'll tell you what, I think at some level, it doesn't matter if Snell's pitching or not. I think the Giants win the game.